Hi, how are you? It's Teknikolour. I have another build that I'd like to show you, one very special to me, and it's probably my best work to date. But I'd like to show you it as a walkthrough and not a speed build today. So I thought this might be an interesting way to look at it so I can give you a little bit more of an in-depth tour. So let's hop into the game and check it out. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning on my Twitch channel, I play The Sims 4 with my legacy family, the Wyndhams. And right now we are on generation 7. And with the past couple of generations, what I've been doing is whenever I have a big stream planned, either for my birthday or for my streaming anniversary, I will allow people to have a sim self of them in my game. And I decided that I would be building a mansion for the Sims. However, there's so many Sims that we actually have 2 mansions for them. So in the pinnacles of Del Sol Valley, we have my Sim living at the lowest lot, and then we have another set of Sims living where Judith Ward usually lives. And then we have the regular set here living in the top biggest lot in the pinnacles. I actually collaborated with my boyfriend, Cinnabon Andy, who is an actual architect, to get my idea out of my head and figure out how it could look good in The Sims. And he very quickly drew up a floor plan for me. And then I put it in The Sims and then adjusted it here and there. And, you know, it has evolved over time. But this is the Honey Hills house. I'm really pleased with this one because I really wanted it to be a beautiful modern mansion. And I wanted it to have a touch of each of these people's personalities because these are real people from my Twitch community. And I wanted them to have it feel as if their sim was represented. So I decided to just take a little bit of an inspiration from each of them. So you come in the front door and here is a little, just like a little entrance foyer area. You can see the full interior courtyard right there with multiple entrances into it. But we'll take a left down here and we'll go down into the kitchen. This kitchen was really fun to work on. I am obsessed with the Life and Death pack, and the kitchen set is just beautiful. And I knew that I wanted there to be a big fish tank in the middle of the kitchen, and I decided to put like a little island around it. And if you didn't know, what I do here is I have seen other people where they'll size down the fish tanks and make sure the fish are in there, and most of the items in the fish tank will still stay visible at its normal size. And then I just added some debug items. So this came out really well. And I think the view here is beautiful. You could see into like that little decking area. You could see the entire driveway. There is one of the other Sims from another household coming on over. Going off of the kitchen, there is a small little bathroom with 3 little toilet stalls. I thought it was a really nice way to separate the space and also have an area for the bathroom. But I also wanted it to be bright and airy. This part is probably one of my favorite parts of the entire house. And this is the dining room. And it's elevated. Over here, you can see that I just have a bunch of different items just used to represent my Sims and also just to show like an entertainment space and just a place where they can all gather. And my Sims sometimes will come here and maybe we'll have a meal together. Maybe we'll do Harvest Fest here, you never know. But what I really like is I have that mirror window from Get to Work installed right there, and it helps to bring in a lot of the light from this window. But then if you are looking at it from the other side, it just lets everything in and you can see everyone in there, and you could, it's more inviting. It's more inviting. I wanted it to be kind of gaudy. I wanted it to be, you could see we're using to go to the max kit. But then if you stroll down here, we have a little bar. So there is a little area for everyone to just hang out in. Then this is probably my favorite feature of the whole house. So I really love water, and this is kind of also a nod to my previous legacy challenge, the Little Mermaid legacy challenge that I created. And this is just this, I don't know, totally mirrored and also windowed area, so it's very bright, and this staircase just leads up to the second floor. There is another staircase elsewhere, but this is just on one wing of the house. Of course, you can go through here, and this is the bowling alley. And I wanted a full bar over here, but I also wanted there to be like seating, and I wanted it to be enjoyable. And I wanted there to be a walkout for like the backyard. Oh, there's Dear Bear. And I wanted there to be a bowling alley because I have just recently gotten the bowling stuff back, and I really wanted to include it in one of my builds. And I thought that this was the perfect place for it. Right now, why don't we head out into the yard? And I can show you the backyard a little bit. I don't think any of my Sims or the Sim selves are particularly athletic. But I needed space. I needed to figure out what to do. So I added this little area over here. And then on this side of the house, of course, we have our entire outdoor kitchen and dining area. I saw somebody else do this with this like sort of piano looking like circular rug, and I really wanted to come up with something similar and have it as part of this outdoor space. I also like having these dividers so it's a little more private. And then of course you can head down here, and there are these areas where you can just hang out. You could just talk with friends and have the fire going. Actually, here is my sim right now. This is my sim, Jet Wyndham. And these are some of the other Sims. Apparently they're here as part of the welcome committee. Also at the front of the house, there's this little area over here, which I adore. It's just this kind of secluded area where everyone can just kind of gather and just talk on the front porch. Through the front door, of course, going the opposite direction, if you were to turn right, you of course have these windows where that little get-together area is, but you will come directly into the sunken living room. And this is probably the coziest place in the entire mansion. And I'm really proud of this because I don't normally build like this. I don't normally go crazy with platforms, but recently I have been. And this was kind of tricky to set up and figure out how I wanted it to look. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I wish that I could recreate this in a lot of my builds. But what I really like about this is the TV is right on this wall, but on the other side of it is this entertainment area. But I also have this fireplace that's built in by having that window that you saw in the dining room just turned the opposite direction. And I think it looks really cool. It looks like there's like some smokiness, and there's some burnt edges maybe, you know. And I just think it looks really cool. I have the seance table over here. We have some game tables and everything. We have a DJ booth. We have a dance floor. We also have a photo booth. But if you were to go out this side, there is more little areas for your Sims to just talk and have fun. But I really wanted this to be a party place. I wanted this house to be a hub for my Sim where I could hang out with the Sim selves of my community members, but I could also like just continue the story of my own Sim. And it's going to be really fun to hang out here and just have parties and stuff. If you go down this little hallway down here, there is the indoor pool, because there are, of course, 2 pools. And I wanted this to be like a kind of monochromatic moment. And this is, of course, the indoor pool. There is a smaller pool for everyone in here, and there's some underlighting of the windows there that look into the bowling alley. And I just think it's really pretty. I have these waterfalls on the windows on the outside, so you can actually see how it looks from this side, so it adds a little bit more privacy. I just thought it was a very, very interesting touch. So I've been playing with fountains, I've been playing with pools, I've been playing with everything more recently, platforms, and this is what we're going with right now. This is the outdoor pool. I wanted to do kind of a bit of a funky shape, and I also wanted there to be a walkout area to a hot tub. So our Sims can also hang out here and just either be in the hot tub or lounge around the pool or in the pool. And of course, you have the entire Del Sol Valley view to look out onto. Also, here is just a little spoiler. This house that is down there actually belongs to my Sim, Jet Wyndham. So you'll see this house very frequently on Tuesday and Thursday mornings when I'm streaming. But this mansion over here belongs to Tiny, my friend Tiny Snub, who I've also done a couple of her shell challenges, which you've seen on this channel before. And she's a good friend of mine, and she had donated quite a lot to my last donathon, and I decided she deserved a whole mansion for herself. So that is her mansion. But this is, of course, the courtyard. And I think everyone who is involved is a pet lover in some way, whether they love dogs, they love cats, or any other kind of pets. But I think the majority of us have cats and dogs. And I just wanted a little nod to that. So that's why I have this cat and dog fountain over here from Brindleton Bay. We kind of stole it. And I've just got some decor around here with the landscaping. And this, of course, opens up into the sky, and it's covered around the walkway. So I think it just is absolutely gorgeous. But we are going to come on over this way, and we will go up these stairs here. And of course, you can see this platform, you can see down into the courtyard below, and you can see across the hall. And we're gonna go down into this bedroom right now. This actually belongs to my friends Rye Pie and Dare Bear, and they are actors, and there is this sort of little entertainment space area for them. It's all lit. There's a microphone in case they want to perform. But basically, I saw this as an area where they could get dressed, they could put on costumes, they could do some acting routines, and they could perform in front of the rest of the house or friends. And it has been a really fun area to hang out in because my Sim can do all of that too. There's obviously 2 of the costume changing stations on either side, and we have their entire closet over here. And then, of course, they just come out this door and then they can perform. Turning right out of there, we can see Max over here is hanging out in front of the radio. And I did little nods for this room because Rye Pie and Dare Bear are both actors. They're very interested in things that I think are very colorful and very playful. For instance, Dare Bear is a big fan of The Legend of Zelda, and that's why I have this artwork here, because it always reminds me of that. And we also have this painting here, which reminds me of Disney Pixar's Luca, which I'm a big fan of, and I know so is Dare Bear. But I feel like this color scheme just fits these friends, and this is their own little lounge area where they can entertain guests on their own. And then, of course, they have their own bedroom over here. And these loving husbands love Disney. They are also Disney pinch raters here on YouTube. I will tag them down below. But they have their own little fireplace over here, and they have their bookcases all just set up for them. Once you go out this little door here, they have their own little balcony so they can see out onto the hills. They can hang out here, they can entertain out here. They also have a little place for rest and relaxation. Heading into their bathroom now. And this, I think, kind of acts as their dressing room. And there is also a nod to Princess Aurora over here, because I know Rye Pie is a big fan, so I had to put a nod to him in here as well. And they have a double shower in here, which looks out into the courtyard, because of course Sims don't really care about privacy, so they might as well. And they each have their own little toilet room. And I don't know, I just wanted a space that felt like theirs. But directly across from them, since they are actors, I thought it would be a very good idea to have their own little movie theater. So of course, there is this little hallway. You can go down here, you can make popcorn, you can get drinks and snacks at the bar. And then of course in here is a little bathroom. So there is this sink right here, and then there's a stall over here and a stall over here. But of course, the walls are lined with movie posters, and then you go through this little door over here, and you have quite possibly a movie theater that I would love to have in my own home. Here is the Honey Hills House movie theater, and we actually haven't watched a movie in here yet, but this is the movie theater that I came up with. I wanted it to be like stadium seating and very cozy. I wanted there to be tables so that they could put their snacks and their drinks, and I would love to hang out here. Like, how cool would this be? Once you come down this hallway, there is another outdoor space. This is a covered balcony for when it's raining or inclement weather. And there is an outdoor kitchen here. There is a little conversation pit area over here, and there's another outdoor bar. And of course, you can look out into the Del Sol Valley Hills. But then, if you turn down here, we're going to see this little hallway here with the house photo. But this is actually our oldest Sim self. This community member, William D, has a vampire, William, who is still with us, of course, because vampires are immortal. So he actually has 2 bedrooms. He can actually stay in his little casket over here. And what I love about this is that these windows open up into this like little rocky area. And then he's got like a memorial over here, which we can have for his sim. There is also like a tarot reading area. I wanted this to be kind of like thematic, like spooky. And this is just one of his bedrooms, because you come in here and now he can entertain. William loves travel. He loves to read. And he also loves cow plants. And I thought that this would just be perfect for his sim. So he's got this full window. He's got some art from his travels. And of course he can have people over and just have this little space in here. And then once you go through here, you get to his actual bedroom, and there he is. He is a bit of an introvert, I would say, a bit like myself. So he's got a little reading area over here by his actual bed. He's got his fireplace. He also has a desk. He can stream if he likes. He could play The Sims, and he can also watch TV and just hang out over here. We have a ton of candles. I just wanted a little cozy place for him, and just so that he can get away if he needed to. He also has the best bathroom in the entire house. I have his walk-in closet as part of his bathroom, and this is where it looks a little more rundown and a little spooky. He has a broken mirror. Of course, he is a vampire, so no reflection. But I wanted this to kind of represent the age of William, this sim self, because he has been with the legacy for quite a few generations now. And I just wanted this part to represent that. But he also has this very snazzy bathroom. He, like Max, whose bathroom and bedroom you'll see next, are big fans of the color green, as am I, and I had a lot of fun building their spaces. And these bathrooms, I think, are just beautiful. Of course, around this corner, we have a toilet, we have a shower stall, but we have the best tub. How luxurious would it be to just sit in this bath, read a book, maybe listen to an audiobook, light some candles, and just look out onto the hills. I did not realize that he can basically see into my Sim's house down there. But that is his bathroom. I wanted it to represent him, and I feel like I really did. And Life and Death really came through with awesome green objects for this. And then of course he has his own balcony out here. He also really likes history, so I have this little table over here for him as well, and his outdoor entertainment area. And then of course we can say hi to our final sim, Mythical Maximus, who actually we saw hanging out in Dare Bear and Rye Pie's suite. However, you go in here and we have this beautiful mirror propped up on this table, and this snazzy looking man. I wanted this to be a very just large space, and I wanted it to be large items. I wanted it to be very extravagant, and I wanted it to be very dark, and I think that works out. And of course, as you saw in William's area, these two windows look out into this area, so they let in a little more light because they don't have as much space connected to the outdoor courtyard as the other two Sims did. But I wanted there to be a space for them. And Max, sometimes he streams, but he is also a gamer like myself. He plays The Sims, he plays a whole bunch of different games. I wanted this place to represent him and what I thought his office would look like, and kind of just as a little nod to get him to potentially start streaming again. So we have it set up as a streaming space as well. We, of course, have his bathroom through here. Now, this looks out onto the front, but I wanted there to be just this kind of closed off, very, very comfy, cozy little bathroom. Just like a little retreat space. And then, of course, he has his shower, his tub, which looks out into the outdoor courtyard. And we have his little toilet stall over here. But Max is also a big fan of creativity, I think. I don't know if he would agree, but I know that he likes to do miniatures and paint those, and he's got a 3D printer. He is just churning out the coolest things. He actually just recently had done little 3D prints of his like online friend group, which included me, and I was so honored to be included. And I just wanted a little bit of a nod to that. So this is kind of his like little work area, so he can work on his little miniatures here. I didn't know how to represent miniatures in The Sims, so I put the My Sims little trophies there. And I wanted this space to be a little rundown. At the time, I did think that he was going to be a werewolf in this legacy challenge, but he decided against it, which I may or may not be grateful for. We have some artist studio space over here. Of course, this huge window lets in a lot of light, and it also just shows off, just gives you so much creativity, because I feel like this is where I would want to paint. So you could just like see out. You can also see if somebody is coming over, and it just feels like a space that I would want my office, like my like decor creativity area to be. We have some paintings, we have some drawings, and we just have some studio space for him. Of course, he is also going to have his own little entertainment space, so he can entertain people. He can have people over and just watch TV, watch a movie. He could read out here if he would like to. He is also an avid reader. I'm also going to make him hold me accountable, so I read more in the new year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, which I always break. But he has his own little outdoor space here. We have a telescope, and we have his little outdoor entertainment space as well. We have this large door into his bedroom, and this was probably my favorite bedroom to design for any of the sim selves of my community members. We have his little bed over here, and we have some books in front of the fireplace. He can just sit down, just light a fire, and he could just read. I just wanted there to be a space also for like spirituality. I wanted there to be like, I don't know, like the tarot thing. I don't know, for instance, that Max is necessarily super into tarot or anything like that, but I felt like this space really represented him and like his like spooky side and stuff like that. So I just really wanted this to represent him. And then his last little room over here is his own dressing room, his own little walk-in closet. And I like the way that this turned out. I feel like he's got a lot of space that he can hang his clothes. He can hang stuff up in here, and he's also got his dresser here. He could put music on. He has cologne and stuff, and he could try out outfits over here. He could take a seat. I just really like the way that this room turned out, and I feel like this build specifically is going to end up kind of dictating how my building style has elevated and how it's going to continue, I hope, to elevate. But this, my friends, is the entire Honey Hills house. I know that this video is a little bit different from what I normally do. I typically do speed builds, but I have been building these 3 mansions in the Pinnacles for what seems like ages. It was actually close to 3 months. Not nonstop, but it was still like 3 months of building. So I feel like the footage is a bit long. So eventually we might have a speed build of it because I still do have the footage. But I wanted to do a little walkthrough because I had actually done this for my Twitch chat, I think twice now, because not everyone who was in this was available to see it, and I wanted to show it off. And it was recommended that I do a walkthrough for YouTube. So I hope this was something that you enjoyed. And if you would like to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And I also just want to thank everyone who has nominated me, because I am in the Simmers Awards. I was nominated for favorite YouTuber under 1K followers. So thank you to anyone who nominated me, and also anyone who votes for me. There are so many lovely people who are friends of mine and not friends of mine who I hope to see more of their content that received final nominations. And I hope you spend the time to go vote. I will drop the link down below in the description, but the Simmer Awards are a fantastic like end of the year awards for Simmers put on by a Simmer, and I just think it's fantastic, and I'm just so honored that anyone nominated me. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, and I hope to bring you more fun Sims builds in the future. But I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.